samples of basalt in there.
All right, guys. So, can anybody tell me any fact about the structure of the planet? Noah? What's that? Okay, yes, we live on the crust of the Earth, which is the outer layer. Does anybody know about anything below the crust? Melissa? The core. And where would the core be located? Center of the planet, right? Can you tell me anything about the core? Any of the features? What it would feel like? It would be very hot, yes. It's the core of the planet also as hot as the surface of the sun. Anybody have anything else? What about the crust? Does anybody know what type of rock it's made of? I'll give you a hint. You can find this rock in your kitchen. Maybe the floor. What's that? Granite. Very good. So the continental crust, that's continents, land, right? That's made up of granite. However, there's a second type of crust. So if we're not on land, we are in. If you're not on land, you're in the water. Good. So the ocean, we call that oceanic crust. It's made up of a different material, and that type of rock would be basalt. However, basalt is more dense, so the oceanic crust is going to be thinner than continental crust, which is thicker. All right. All right. So everybody go to Google Classroom, and there's an assignment I posted up there called the Interior Layers of the Earth activity. If you could please open that up. All right, this is what it should be. So I'm going to show you 4 different materials. Usually this activity is done where you have multiple lab stations, so you can go ahead and see what's in the bags or feel what's in the bags, but unfortunately we cannot do that. So I will display it for you. So there's 4 things I'm going to show you. You have to tell me basically what which layer of the earth that material represents. Okay? All right, so this is a bag of soil, right? This is going to represent the crust of the earth. Why? The crust is made up of solid rock, right? So here, this will represent, because you're going to need to be able to describe the material. This is rocky. The next material is going to represent the layer that is directly underneath the crust, and that is called the mantle. The mantle, what's representing the mantle here in this bag is, I don't know, what would you call this stuff? Slime. Right? See, the material is not as hard as the crust. It is soft. It is malleable. Does anybody know what malleable means? It can be molded, right? Right? So this will represent the mantle. So the mantle is made up of rock. You would call it a semi-solid. It's not solid, but it's not liquid either. It's in between. And a good way to describe it, you guys know what asphalt is, right? Hot asphalt. So hot asphalt when you're making roads, it's able to flow when it's really hot, hardens when it cools down. The next layer is going to be this bag of water. This bag of water represents the outer core. Therefore, you should be able to infer from this that the outer core is liquid. Now, we talked about the crust and the mantle being rock, right? It's just molten rock in the middle. Now, when we get to the core, the outer core, now it's no longer made up of rock. It is made up of metal. This would be liquid metal made up of iron and nickel. The last layer. We talked about the inner core, the outer core. Now we're going to talk about the inner core. This marble would represent the inner core. It's made up of the same material as the outer core. It's still made up of iron and nickel, but it is solid. It is not liquid like the outer core. Solid ball of metal. Can anybody venture a guess why? And it's at those temperatures, really, it should be a liquid. Why isn't it a liquid? That's on the planet. Why is it a solid ball of metal? Excellent. Because of the pressure. The pressures are too high where things cannot exist as a liquid. It's only going to be a solid. Very good. All right, so I'm going to post up here some of the facts you need to know. Can you guys see that? Scroll down a little bit. There you go. Oops. All right. So to complete this, along with you seeing these, and if you need to see these again, I'll place these out on the front table here, and just one at a time, come look at them. So I'll put them in order: crust, mantle, outer core, and inner core. Anybody have any questions? No? Okay, so your homework is to finish this. If you don't do it, finish it in class. Oh, one other thing I want to point out, sorry. On the last page, let me go back to that screen. On the last page, you have to make a bar graph, all right? And a bar graph is going to represent the temperatures, all right? So again, the further you go down, what happens to the temperature? The hotter it gets, it increases, right? Along with what Melissa pointed out before, pressure also increases, all right? So you can expect to see your bar graph increasing as you go through the layers. All right, so go ahead. You can go ahead and complete that now.